Hello and welcome to a new episode of Daily Mole, your daily gaming news here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole, and today we have the news that 11th Hour Games is now in a partnership, or low equity investment, with Tencent. Now if you're asking who? Those are the creators of Last Epoch, which is an action RPG, which has been in early access for quite some time, and it has already made some waves before the actual release. If you have not checked out Last Epoch yourself, you totally should, because it does a lot of things different, and it's a very in-depth action RPG, which is hopefully coming out soon. They're pretty close to the 1.0 release. But let's jump into the news and let's have a look at the announcement for the Tencent partnership, as they call it. As many of you know, 11th Hour Games comes from very humble beginnings. Last Epoch originated from a simple Reddit post asking other action RPG enthusiasts who wants to join up and make the next great action RPG. It started as a true after-hours passion project that most of us worked on in the evenings for nearly a year while holding other jobs to pay the bills. Our late-night development is part of the reason for the name 11 Hour. Since then, we have grown rapidly as we and our community continue to share our enthusiasm for this game and genre. It became clear that as we gained traction and set our sights on a more ambitious game, that our growth would require more talent, hardware, software, and ultimately more funds. Due to this, I spent 653 days, yes exactly, approaching and fielding publishers, angel investors, venture capital firms, and banks, seeking more funds to ensure the stability and growth of 11th Hour Games and Last Epoch. During that time, we received multiple verbal and written offers, but many came with a requested level of control, stipulations, insertion into operations, requirements, or involvement that I suspect might not be in the best interest of the game or company. I have meticulously crafted a team of ARPG fanatics that know and want is best for Last Epoch and our community. This team is something that I have always protected at all costs, so giving up nearly any level of control was not something I was willing to entertain, which, as you can imagine, is hard for a lot of investors. Luckily, after nearly 18 months, I began talks with the team from Tencent Games, who were already fans of Last Epoch and had followed us for quite some time. They had witnessed our ability to produce and release content for nearly 4 years in early access, grow a team, and grow an enthusiastic player base. The team played the game thoroughly and came into the conversation with a level of enthusiasm and trust in us that we were looking for, due to their passion for Last Epoch, but most importantly because of their willingness to let us design, create, operate, and grow how we see fit. We have accepted a low equity investment from Tencent Games. This investment does many wonderful things for Last Epoch, including guaranteeing the stability of our development pipeline through the full 1.0 release of Last Epoch, allowing funds for required hardware like more testing machines and server infrastructure to support multiplayer, allowing us to hire contract industry experts and consultants for the most challenging aspects of development and live operations, allowing us to expand our team. We are hiring. Allowing us marketing capital for the 1.0 release of the game. This means more players to share Itera with, ensuring our stability and growth as a studios for years to come. And then he is going a little bit on to talk about the things they have been on, like Kickstarter and the support of the community. But you get the idea. I know that some people immediately will jump to, oh no, Tencent, well that means I'm out. If you are still thinking that way, then you do you, right? Keep in mind, Tencent has a bad reputation for nothing, more or less at this point. Like, we have so many companies who are owned by Tencent and where nothing changed. Like, we have Riot Games, right? Warframe, Path of Exile, just to name 3 of them. I could probably go down the list and we would have much, much more games out there. But nothing has changed. Like, the free-to-play aspect never run rampant. Their item shops are not like overflowing with pay-to-win aspects, like especially Path of Exile. If you didn't know, yes, Path of Exile and Grinding Gear Games is owned by Tencent, has been for years, and nothing has really changed. And this is also not them owning 11th Hour Games. That might happen after 1.0, when they see the success of the game, then they might actually completely buy this. But this seems to be from Tencent's new publishing arm. Tencent has started the publishing arm here in the West, or like an arm where they can support developers. So they are not like immediately buy those developers, but they support them as a publisher. And it seems to be here the case that they're just giving them a little bit more money with a low equity investment. And that's good, because that means they have zero control. Like, Tencent has zero control with this, which totally fits their MO. Like, all the companies who got bought by Tencent have always said, you know what? I don't even know Tencent. Yeah, sure, we signed a contract with them. They gave us the money, and then we have never seen them again. I don't even know how the people look at Tencent. Like, I have no clue. They gave us the money, they paid us the check, and that was it. And that's a good sign, because that's exactly what we gamers want, right? Like, we had just too many publishers in the past which were always like super handsy, who always want to tell like the developers how to do it, how to fit something more in a live service case, and how the item shop has to look like, and so on and so forth. And it sucks most of the time. It really sucks when that happens. We had just too many games who proved us right that publishers are not necessarily the greatest choice for studios, but especially if you have ambitions, you need bigger foundings. And Tencent so far, no matter what you think about like the whole China part and what you have heard, but so far, we didn't have a single developer coming forward and say, Tencent? Never again. Tencent is the worst. We never had that. And as long as we don't hear anything like that, I think this is a good thing. Like, 11th Hour, I've been a backer of this game since Kickstarter, has made a miraculous transformation. They were really going through this side project with a lot of ambitious ideas and just became their own thing. And they grow bigger and bigger, and you always ask yourself, how do you finance that? Like, sure, there are people playing the game and the Steam numbers are not bad, and I can just assume that a lot of people are now waiting for the multiplayer, and when the multiplayer is coming out, the game will hopefully explode. But you always ask yourself, man, but they want to grow bigger. Especially for the multiplayer. They have been in the last few months talking about the multiplayer aspect of Last Epoch, and it really sounded like that they wanted to bring quality and the best tools they can offer. And you always ask yourself, how do you finance that? Like, that sounds really expensive. How do you do that, right? And, well, the answer seems to be Tencent. Like, again, as always, we will see how it works out. Again, this is just a low equity investment, so there's not much power Tencent gets to begin with, and it really seems like they hammered at home that Tencent just gave them money, and at some point they want the money back through the investment. And I think it will help 11th Hour Games quite a bit. And yeah, the only thing I've been seeing is, of course, a lot of people reacting as they usually react when they hear Tencent. It's completely shut down and being just like, oh, Tencent. Keep in mind, this is a small minority. Like, I mean, I had some people on the internet say, yeah, I'm leaving this game, or this game is dead. And like, what do you mean this game is dead? League of Legends? Definitely not dead. Warframe? Definitely not dead. Path of Exile? Yeah, definitely not dead. And so many more. Like, every time I hear people like, yeah, now the game is dead because Tencent bought them. It seems like that most of the gaming community doesn't really care. As long as the game is not getting interrupted, they don't really care if Tencent is now owning the developer. And as long as they are not interfering, why would they, right? But with that said, we are at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate if you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, you want to see more daily gaming news, reaction videos, tips and tricks for new games, a lot of Lost Ark. I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel. And if you ever want to catch me live, you can do so from Monday to Friday, starting at 9 a.m. East Coast time, which is 1 p.m. UK time, and 3 p.m. Central European time. Wait, 2 p.m. UK time and 3 p.m. Central European time. There you go. And you can find us on trovo.live/ChaosMole, and you will find a link in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.